Hi, my name is Jacob Mitchell, and we're here in beautiful Oceanside, California. In the area that has always been the civic heart of Oceanside, we begin our urban street tour at what was Oceanside's first police station, but is now the firehouse. As we can see, they renamed it Walter Johnson Fire Station Number 1, built in 1929. Downstairs was the station for the police, and the upstairs was the courtroom and jail. If we move on west on Pier View, we see what is now Oceanside's Museum of Art. In 1929, this building was designed by Irving Gill, and these beautiful glass walls were once large garage doors for the fire engines. On the corner here, we're coming upon what was Oceanside's library and city hall, also designed by Irving Gill, but constructed in 1934. This beautiful Mission Revival type architecture with the arches and the white stucco walls. Across the way, we see St. Mary's Star of the Sea Catholic Church, which is an excellent example of the Mission Revival architecture style. This church was constructed in 1927 to replace the original church that was built in 1993, or 1893, I'm sorry. The original was moved and restored and now rests in Oceanside's historic east side. Now we come upon our current civic center and city offices. Built in the late 80s. I couldn't find much information about this building. I know that it was built in the 80s. I'm not sure who designed it, but it is a beautiful building, that is for sure. You can see that the Oceanside Museum of Art actually owns what was the old library and city hall as well. It holds art shows quite often. So we come into this beautiful foyer. I really wish I knew who designed this building. Beautiful colored tiles on the walls. This fountain says Oceanside up there. It's the City Hall North. I went up there for one of my projects in this class, actually. We come on down here, and on the right side right here is going to be the library, where you would go to vote. It all kind of exits out into the fountain area. So after many times of trying to do this all in one take, I've given up. Right now, I've moved on to Civic Center in Cleveland, and I'm looking at a little bit of old and new. In front of us is the oldest brick structure still standing in Oceanside, known as the Bunker House. It was used as a boarding house, built in 1886. The building is said to have a colorful history, including the stabbing death of one of its owners, to the many years it spent as a whorehouse. Right across the street we have the latest of luxury apartments going into downtown. I believe it's the 7th high-rise now that's been constructed. Down below will be commercial units. Up above, apartments, and in the back, a public parking structure for the beach. because to build these big buildings, they keep taking our parking garages and parking lots. So it'll be interesting to see how Oceanside grows as a city and develops and plans transportation routes into the downtown area after they take away parking lots. I mean, it makes sense. The transit station is right down the street. Gives access to East County through the Sprinter line and access from South and North counties from the Santa Fe Railroad line. This is the most developed part of Oceanside now, I would say. I was talking to my dad today and we were saying it looks a lot like Huntington Beach.
Hey, Paul.
Now we're at the Oceanside Pier. This sixth pier of Oceanside was built in 1987, and Oceanside's band shell arena was built in 1950. The first of 4 band shells was actually built in 1919. A stage for the Miss Southern California Beauty Contest, concerts, beach openings, and this current band shell was even used in the 2000 movie Bring It On. If we look back at Oceanside's downtown skyline and the Wyndham Resort, you can see Oceanside has changed quite a bit since this whole area used to be switching yards for the train station. A derelict area, now a resort paradise. Next stop on the urban street tour is California Surf Museum of Oceanside. Previously, this building was the infamous Playgirl strip club. And I'm gonna continue back up through the heart of the nightlife area of Oceanside. And eventually we're gonna end our tour on the corner of Mission Ave and PCH, up a couple blocks and to the right. See you there. Welcome back. This is part 2 of my urban street tour of Oceanside. I'm here in the corner of PCH and Mission Avenue in the thick of downtown. Across the way, the building that is now T-Shirt Mart was once the First National Bank of Oceanside. Built in 1925, it replaced an earlier bank building that was built in 1887 that also had housed the first city hall and library. Behind me here we have the building that was once J.E. Jones Hardware. It's now a real estate office. Built in 1913. The plaque over here says 1912. If we move on down the street, we can see the Independent Order of Odd Fellows building here. Also built in 1913. At one point, downstairs was City Hall after the City Hall was moving from the bank building across the street up to its current location built in 1934 at the City Hall that we saw earlier. This beautiful brick building had also housed JCPenney down here in the downstairs area for 40 years until they built the El Camino Mall, which drove business out of downtown. Recently, within the last 5 years, this whole area has began to change, and they took this from a 2-lane road to a 1-lane road and put in the parallel parks. I'm glad old buildings like the ones that we've seen today are still around and that I get to call this place home. That's gonna finish up my urban street tour of downtown. Thank you. Ending another beautiful day in paradise.